and it is our Sunday show where we sit there and kind of give you guys an update about what's happening over the weekend, kind of like a weekend recap. Sometimes we'll talk about kind of the state of the match play meta, kind of an analysis, or if there's more interesting news popping up, man, we're going to talk to you about that. And guess what we're going to be talking about today? We got news, lots and lots of news. Some wide open, and some that everybody knows about, and then some that you might not know about. So let us get started here in the best possible way. Let's do Psychic Awakening. I want to go ahead and get that up in the background because we're going to have to talk about that today. Big time. Because some people did some stupid stuff. And I don't know if there's going to be any repercussions, but it's worth talking about. There we go. Got that map up and running. And got everything else about. So I'm going to talk about Psychic Awakening first. And after I grab my drink, because as always, running my mouth, I get a little thirsty. All right. So let's talk about Psychic Awakening. We already saw this pop up earlier this week. We saw that they created their brand new website for Psychic Awakening. That this site is going to have all sorts of these update maps, like right here, what you got on your screen. I'll go full size on this sucker. So you'll see this for sure. And you see down here, I guess the northeastern or southeast, or down here in the lower right-hand corner, the Phoenix Rising, you see the Eldar icon. It's the first activity that's going to be taking place. So we're pretty sure that this is going to involve the first factions, which the way that this little description describes is pretty much, it looks like the Eldari or the Eldar are going to have probably a civil war. I don't know exactly what's going to happen, but I imagine, as we've mentioned before, that the whole Psychic Awakening books are going to be getting about 2 factions at least per book. And if this book is any idea of what to expect, I honestly believe we'll see all 4 books in there. Well, I should say all 3 books plus the index. And this might give us a clue as to what's going to be going on with the Inari, which are the newest branch. So, clicking out of there, now why am I bringing all this up? Well, over the weekend, it might have been Friday, some very naughty people, I guess not, yeah, it's naughty. They went and basically took a look at the source code. I wouldn't know how to do it. I'm not going to even try to explain, what they did. But they basically were able to go into the archive files for this interactive map, right? And they were able to see that there was another location, I don't remember where it was, that showed the faction symbol for Sisters of Battle. And then there's other locations that were shown, like the same area, I think that The Rock was at, Fenris, Armageddon, a lot of the named, the historical places, I guess, as you can call them. So the only thing that gave us a clue is that probably the next one is going to be Sisters of Battle, which makes sense. I think anybody with a lick of logical, analytical thinking could figure out that the first book is going to be Eldar, which we already talked about. I mean, they gave us clues in the video, and that's what I talked about last Wednesday, or Friday, whenever that was. I already forget. And then we know that with the Sisters of Battle coming out in November, sorry, I lost my train of thought there. Sisters of Battle coming out in November, that they were very likely going to be one of the next books. It only made sense. Hey, we're launching a brand new book and a brand new codex, brand new models, everything else, right in the smack dab, well, at the beginning of this campaign. And it only made sense for them to show up in there. Now, who the other factions will be in that book, even if they are in that second book, or maybe they're in the first book, we don't know. But that was just a good clue that they were coming up next. Now, the problem with this is, yay, cool, we saw some leaks, we got some information that maybe we weren't supposed to know. But really, this information that they're giving us, it tells us nothing except it's just all story. Narrative, which is cool, and that's what helped brings us into this hobby and pushes this whole narrative forward. But it wasn't that big of a sneak peek or reveal. I mean, if they would have shown, hey guys, we delved deep into this and we found these pictures of, hey look, the new Primarch, Lionel Johnson. We got a picture of Lionel Johnson, and we got idea who the new big bad is that's attacking the universe, that's got everybody on edge. I would support that, but that leak of them hacking into this essentially wasn't that big of a deal. I mean, it's bad security on GW's part, but that wasn't that big of a deal to be revealing that stuff that, like I said, anybody that can that's even taking Common Core math could have figured that out. It's just a pretty simple leap of logic what they showed there. So not a big deal and nothing to freak out or stress about or go, oh my God, they've got these great leaks, somebody hacked the planet. No, all they did some very simple work, more than likely, and got a little bit of information that was prepped to launch on Monday. They already said that this stuff every week we're going to be getting new updates. Well, guess what? Tomorrow is going to be the new week. We're going to get an update. So all they did is manage. Oh, my voice is echoing. Hold on a second here. Let me check. Oh no voice echoing. Sorry about this, folks. Let me check why my voice is echoing. Weird. Huh. I'm not sure why. All the microphones except for the main one are disabled. Hold on a second. Well, let me disable this mic and then re-enable it. All right. Is it still echoing very badly? I'll wait for your reply. Hopefully not. If not, I'm not sure what's going on. I might have to turn the camera mic on. That might solve the problem. Unless it was echoey when I first picked up the camera. Okay, well, let me know what the deal is if it's still echoing. If so, I'll see if I could fix that mic. Anyways, so not that big of a deal here that they somebody managed to hack it, and we got to see something really early. And it wasn't that big of a deal, and I don't know why people are making a big deal about it, but whatever. It's nothing. I'm sorry, it's nothing big. All right, so let's get on with the rest of the recaps. Before I get, I'm going to go ahead and get into today's quick reveal that they did for us. That's actually pretty cool. It's something that we already expected. Something I already talked about is that at the end of the month, we were going to see, at the end of the month, maybe next month, we were going to see the release of either Iron Hands or Raven Guard. I didn't think they would do both of those together. There were some indications that they wouldn't do the two similar colored armies. at the same time, but they are. And oh well, it's not that big of a deal. I'm just happy that they're putting them out. So if you haven't seen this yet, it's over on Warhammer community page. So I'm not going to go too much into it, but just as I reported before, we're going to see the exact same thing. There's going to be the main codex. There's going to be the limited edition codex that just has a fancy cover. There's of course going to be the EPUB, e-reader stuff going on there for both of those, Iron Hands and Raven Guard. I do like how they make the Raven Guard Codex guy a little emo-y or maybe a little hipster. Like, that is pretty cool. But really, that's nothing new, guys. Anyway, so data cards, everything I just talked to you guys about before. Here's the upgrade sprues for the Raven Guard. Now, here's one thing I'm going to say is that this upgrade sprue is better than the previous ones, because previously you got 10 regular shoulder pads and like 3 of these larger shoulder pads for Gravis armor, like your what do they call them? Oh goodness, why can't I think of the name of those guys? The aggressors, or your Gravis captains. So now you're getting 2, 4, 6 of them, and then 2 other. So actually you're getting 12 regular and 6 Gravis, getting some different weapon upgrades here. I'm not sure why they felt these bolters needed to be in here, because that looks almost just like the bolter, stalker pattern bolter rifle that comes in the regular box, unless they just had to include some weapons in there. And who knows, maybe, I don't know, there's no icons on there. I really don't know why they felt the need to do that. Maybe because it's got this sling on it. I don't know. It's really weird. Now, these faces are cracking me up. I like the fact that they put the beakies in. I hate the beakies, but other people love them. And, hey, congrats, you got the new Primaris beakies. Cool. But these faces here, man, they remind me of a lot of those weird emote-style goth kid videos that always pop up on YouTube, or some of the classic ones. Pretty funny, in my opinion, but who knows? And then we got the Iron Hands. Looks like they got the same treatment, a bunch of shoulder pads. So what's that? Looks like 20. Yeah, 20 shoulder pads, some extra hands. Now this bolter's is slightly different because it's got the round magazine, or round drum, a whole bunch more heads the same amount of heads, other little doodads and gizmos and widgets and stuff. So overall, I'd say pretty cool. Nice. I like how they have a different type of purity seal. Looks like, they have their own version, like the purity seals. That's what you see, all these little clawed hooks and other little doodads. So those are going to be kind of cool, especially if you are a Raven Guard fan. All right, so moving on. We already saw that this was coming. Cool. I'm super, super stoked about this. No need for him, but I'm probably going to get him because he is just awesome looking. And then we already knew that this guy's coming out. We finally got a name for him. Let's see here. They call him Malkin Pharos, an Iron Father. He comes equipped with a shoulder-mounted artificer heavy bolter called the Gorgon's Wrath. And he's got a cog-toothed power axe called Harrow Hand. So, pretty cool. It's going to be interesting to see what all this stuff does. I mean, if it's like other type of tech priest things, this claw arm, that you see at at like arcades and stuff to get like little toy prizes, it's probably like a power fist or power claw type thing. This looks like going to be like a plasma cutter, so you'll be able to shoot plasma, or maybe it's for close combat. And then of course this artificer heavy bolter, which means it's probably going to do a little bit more damage. I think that's what artificer weapons do. So cool. And finally, we're going to be able to see the Reaver Lieutenant, or sorry, not Reaver Lieutenant, Lieutenant in Phobos armor. So cool. Yay. Happy about that. And then, of course, the one that a lot of people are waiting for, especially everybody that's jumping on to the gameplay of playing Space Marines, the Eliminators. Now, it's a 3-man box. I'll know the price tomorrow. I'll report on that on Tuesday, but my guess, it's going to be $40 for 3 of them. If it's less, I'll be really surprised. At at cheapest amount, I would say $35, but I'm betting 40. Probably no higher than 50, but I'm thinking probably about $40, guys and gals, unfortunately. So, yeah, I mean, yeah, we're still missing. What else are we missing? Oh, suppressors. I don't know how those are going to come. I think they're going to be an easy to build box, to be honest with you, and then the Primaris impulsor tank. So those will probably be coming out in the next supplement. So something to note about this is a lot of people were saying, oh, it's going to be every other month for the Codex supplements to come out. You're only going to get one every other month. You know, I looked and looked and looked, and that was pretty much unsubstantiated. It was a bunch of BS. I don't know why people like spreading false rumors. I mean, without any sort of credibility or anything to back it up. Not even saying that, hey, this is a rumor or salt, take with a dash of salt. They just say that, hey, this is what's happening. GW, this is going to suck because we have to wait like 6 months to get my Codex. No, man, they're cranking them out every month. And it looks to be about, as of right now, 2 a month. We have 4 down once these drop in 2 weeks. And then we'll have 3 more to go, and it'll be done. So I don't see what the big deal is. I don't see why people have to spread those very bad rumors. If I'm still echoing, let me know. I'm really sorry if I am. I don't have... I should have brought some speakers so I could hear it. Okay, so anyways, so let's get on to what I really wanted to talk about. Let me find my little note sheet. Over the weekend, or maybe it's Friday night, over on Warhammer TV or on Twitch, there was a interview and then gameplay. The interview was with, I believe it was Andy Hoare. I honestly, I can't remember if that's who that was. I'm going to actually take a look. Anyways, they sat down and had I want to say almost an hour-long chat with him about the whole, not Andy Hoare. Was it Andy Hoare? Man, it's going to bother me now. Anyways, they had a sit-down chat with him about the whole Aeronautica Imperialis. And I know a lot of people were already nervous about Aeronautica Imperialis. Was it going to be... Was this going to be just something that really wasn't well supported? Was this going to be just a kind of a standalone game we don't want to get involved in? And they pretty much they put that to rest for us. So we're very thankful for that. And what do I mean by all that? All right. So what they talked about is not only is it a full line of new models, and it's also going to include lots and lots of expansions. Other campaign wars, air wars, and stuff like that. And let's see what else. Man, there's a lot I got to read over here. It's definitely not a standalone game, not a one-shot box type thing, kind of like that horrible, if you guys will remember, 2011, I think it was 2011, the Dreadfleet game, where they came out with that fantasy pirate ship game, and it was pretty bad. I mean, the models looked cool, and it was a kind of a cool concept, but there was no support. There was no expansion beyond, I think, maybe a White Dwarf article or two that kind of showed you the different type of, maybe different scenarios or some paint articles, but that was it. And it was like such a missed opportunity. So that even had me a little reserved when this came out, because I remember Aeronautica about 2013, 2014, about 13, 14 years ago. So that would put it at about 2006. Yeah, because I was stationed in Yuma, Arizona at that time. So yeah, about 2006, 2007. And that's when Aeronautica first dropped from Forge World. So not a lot of popularity. Forge World, very difficult to get at that point in time. So there was not a lot of people playing it. Such a disappointment. So now that Games Workshop has brought this over, and that's that. If you caught the article the other day, or the episode the other day, was that Friday? Man, I'm already forgetting what day that was. Thursday, Friday, someday. That, oh boy, I forgot what I'm saying. Oh, that Games Workshop is pretty much all the 40K rules and stuff are coming over to the Games Workshop side of the house from and Age of Sigmar from Forge World. And Forge World is just going to mainly be cranking out their gorgeous models, and the Horus Heresy is going to stay there in-house. But everything else, 40K side and AOS side, are coming over. And that's where we get the Aeronautica Imperialis. Came over, and originally it looked like Forge World was going to be doing the Adeptus Titanicus, but they got that yanked out from under them, it looks like, and it shows up on Games Workshop ends up getting a hold of that, which they didn't do a very good job of keeping it going. They really need to get those different factions out. Anyway, so I don't keep dragging this on. As long as interest stays strong with this, that we're going to see additional factions for the Aeronautica Imperialis. That's happening. The Ren's World campaign book is another way to play the game, by the way. Obviously with the campaign, and if I understood what he was saying, and maybe if you got a friend that bought this, I'm going to recommend buying it regardless, but that campaign book, supposedly you can just buy that campaign book. You don't need to buy the box set. So that's a interesting little thing there. They almost leaked what they were, but they leaked that there's going to be 5 factions. So we've already got 2 factions right now, Orcs and Imperial Navy. So more than likely, I foresee Eldar. I see Tau, and then from there, I'm going to bet Chaos. Chaos is probably going to be it, and then maybe in the future we'll see Space Marines and Necrons and whatnot. There's going to be more areas of engagement coming. Those are the that's what he was talking about. And if you go back and watch the videos on Warhammer TV, you'll see what they're using. Now, the box set comes with an area of engagement, but it's a very thick, basically it's a poster, which is, I'm really disappointed that they did not do that heavy cardstock on there. They could have done that heavy cardstock, dropped it into the box set, but I understand they're wanting to keep costs down on that core game, and if you want to expand, then you buy that area of engagement. Now, the area of engagements are going to be massive. They are essentially 3x3, or will be 3x3 in the future. And each one that they come out with are going to be double-sided, and they're going to be attached to a campaign book that'll come out. So it's all going to be relative to that release. So more than likely, when a new area of engagement comes out, you're probably going to see that's also going to be a new campaign book and a new faction or 2. I don't know how they're going to play this, but hopefully they quicken the pace of these releases, so we don't have to wait. We're about a year now, a year and a half for Adeptus Titanicus, and we still don't have anything else. I mean, that's really disappointing. That's very shameful. Very shameful. Okay, so I'm going to highly recommend, though, that you buy that area of recommendation, because it's that thick, heavy cardstock, and it's double-sided. It's going to be a lot easier to play on that over this paper poster map that they got. Now, they also talked about why they did the hex maps on there. They found that for gameplay, it was easier for them to, for people that are playing it, to have the hexes to measure distances, facing, and whatnot. It was just a better gameplay, much more ease of use for the end user or the consumer. That's us. They are eyeballing those neoprene playmats, kind of like what you see they put out before. I think it's like $80, and you can get like a 4x4 playmat. They've got that neoprene. I don't even know if they're still in production anymore. They might have only been a limited time, but you know what I mean. The fat mats are like the Star Wars X-Wing fighter maps. It's the mouse pad stuff. You know what I'm talking about. They're eyeballing that, but they need to find the right manufacturer to keep the pricing down. And that's good, because that's price. As long as they can find something that's got the right quality for us. And, well, for them, that means a better quality for us and a better price. So, let's see here. What else we got about this? More models are currently in production, both plastic and resin. So, yay. That's really good. Um, and you can, I was actually theorizing this. So I got my box on Friday. So yay! I'm actually going to start building models this week, and hopefully start playing this week or next week. Now, what they were talking about is that they already got models in production, and we know that there's going to be other types of flyers, because right now we have fighters and bombers. There's going to be something called a scout class, it looks like. And how we can figure this out is all these fighter jets and the bombers all have a number of maneuvers they can pull off. And on their unit card, it tells you can do maneuvers 1 through 6, 1 through 3, 1 through 4. But there are 8 maneuvers, and there are no vehicles in the box set. Or I've got the 2 card sets, the Ace Fighter and Tactics card sets for the Imperial Navy and the Orc WA. And none of their jets or fighters, bombers, whatever, have maneuvers 7 and 8. So that just tells us already it's coming. There's more coming. So that's really cool. I'm very happy about that. I'm going to really recommend that you buy those cards. And I don't get anything from Games Workshop for telling you to buy this stuff. It's just a matter of convenience that you have this in your hands. It's just going to be so much easier for you to use and make the game go by a lot faster. And right now it's looking like your first game is going to probably be about an hour as you learn it, but they were talking about games are around 30 minutes. So that's good. 30 minutes, let's say 30 minutes to an hour, depending on the size of the game, which is really good because they talked about this game is designed for organized play. They have that in mind. Now, when the designer said, he said the word tournament, and you could tell by, at least in my impression, he kind of looked like he had a bad taste in his mouth. Like, I can't believe I said that. I don't think he likes that terminology, or maybe it was GW saying, guys, when we talk about the game, talk about any of our product, we don't talk about tournaments. Tournaments is a bad word. And I know it's not a 4-letter word, but it's basically a 4-letter word, so don't say it. So, and which is true, because tournament brings up, two different viewpoints. One, I get to be super competitive. I'm going to have fun because I really like doing this and beating people up and getting prizes. And then the majority over here is like, oh, God, there's tournament players, great win-at-all-cost players. These guys are just going to pretty much ruin our fun. We just want to come in and play a game. So it's designed for organized play, which is good because they're keeping these small games which are better suited for organized play as opposed to Age of Sigmar and Warhammer 40,000, which, it's got match play rules, but they're really not designed. I'm sorry, but the balance issue up and down is not great for organized play. Where Kill Team and Shadespire Underworlds or not Shadespire anymore, it's just Underworlds, where those are designed for organized play. And they've even got an organized play pack coming out for the campaign, or not campaign, but the Warcry game, which has got some people on edge because they don't see how it's going to happen, but they've got these tournament packs or organized play packs coming out. So these smaller games are more designed for organized play, which is good because this game is going to be, I think, kind of a good transition, taking those people from Star Wars X-Wing, which even with their 2.0 edition, some people are kind of like a little steering away from. They're not happy about especially the way they've executed a lot of the releases and how much you have to buy back into it, and you have to use apps to build your army list. You don't have any, it's all over the place. Still a good game, but this is now a nice gateway game into Warhammer 40,000 or Age of Sigmar, or Kill Team, Necromunda, because you're going to be playing a game that you are familiar with, X-Wing players, Armada players. Even Skies of Blood, I think, is the other one. That's the World War II style game. These are a great way to transition over into another game, start fresh, start new. It's going to have organized play. It's not going to be ridiculous. You don't have to worry about 20,000 ships to buy and all these upgrade packs for all the ships that you already bought, and buy more upgrade packs because these upgrade packs don't have enough information in it for everything that you've got. Well, great. You can jump over here, spend some bucks on it, and I mean, yeah, you're buying right back into a game, but now you don't have to deal with that toxic environment anymore. So that's a good thing that their design is for, they have this organized play in mind for this game. Now, when all that's going to drop, they didn't say, but I imagine sometime after the first year. They got a lot going on, and I don't think they're going to want to have us choke on everything in the beginning or near the end of this year. They're probably going to be wanting to launch January, I would bet, with probably our first new faction, our next campaign book, and area of engagement, and all that jazz. And that's probably when we'll see organized play kit. So look forward to that. Something that's really cool, though, about that campaign book I talked about earlier, the Rin's World campaign book or Air War campaign book, is that it has a pilot progression system for the narrative or the campaign, which is very similar. If you guys remember, in sometimes around 6th edition, I want to say 2012. Quote, help me out on there. I think it was 2012. That's when 6th edition dropped, and Dark Vengeance, that was the name of it. They also came out shortly after or right before. There was a hardback Aeronautica book that Games Workshop put out for you to do air battles. I want to say it was after that. That's when all the flyer books and everything started coming out, and there was a progression system in there so your pilots could get better and better and better. Well, that's what's in this campaign book. So, and as you guys are playing a campaign, your pilots that survive, it looks like, are going to be able to pick up new traits, new special abilities. And looking at the box or the card packs, there's ace pilots in there. There's special fighter pilot or fighters and bombers and stuff in there. So there's a lot going on with this game beyond just, oh, look, it's a game of planes blowing and shooting each other, and it's like Star Wars X-Wing. You know what? I want to say that this game came out technically. Somebody will have to take a look, maybe put in the comments section when I upload this on YouTube or here in the chat right now. But I think if it was 2006 that the first Aeronautica came out, I want to say X-Wing. When did X-Wing come out? I'm going to have to look into that because I want to say X-Wing came after when Aeronautica was released. Or maybe they came out at the same time. Something I'm going to have to look into. That way, I can either shut people up or agree with them. All right, so, and another thing they're going to be looking at in future campaigns is asset management. I don't know exactly what that'll mean, but like fuel, weapon, or ammunition, pilots, and stuff like that. But that's all going to be campaign play. That's not going to be match play or, you're basically pickup game. So that's really cool that they've put a lot of time and investment in this. And when I say time and investment, I really mean it. They spent about close to 2 years, really about 18 months, I think he was saying, and that's kind of the standard for any sort of new product, which we've talked about before. It took them almost 2 years to get this product transferred over from what it used to be at Forge World to what it is now. Bring it over, hey, this is what we want to do, can we do it? And then it was the build up from there, going from concept to proof of concept to, okay, production levels and all that jazz. And that's something we already know, that usually the projects start at least a year out, and they start, they're usually about 6 months out from release. That's when they start manufacturing and building up their stock levels. So yeah, 18 months ago sounds about right. Excuse me on that. Had to get a little thirsty here. So that's, it's good news that they're going to keep kind kind of supporting this game. It's not going to go away. It's not that one shot, which I was personally worried about. And then as soon as I saw that video and I listened in on it, or the Twitch feed, I immediately turned around and bought the game. And that's what I've got right here. And then today, when I was at my shop, I turned around and bought the cards because I saw how valuable they're going to be for even just casual play. I'm hoping the next video I've got a whole bunch of stuff here on my painting table. Man, it's going to be a little embarrassing to show you guys, but let me show you here how bad my painting table is. It's bad. It's very bad. I got lots of stuff on here. I probably shouldn't even be talking about starting to paint this stuff, but I'm going to. So I'm doing a lot of test projects right now, but I want to get one of these jets put together and start testing out the product. I also got myself into a little bit of trouble. I agreed to do somebody's about 15, maybe 20 World Eaters from the Horus Heresy. They're Terminators. I mean, I'm getting paid a Castigator Night Titan. So, I mean, it's kind of a nice, it's nice for nice payment. Anyways, I'm getting a little sidetracked here, but that's really kind of the recap. I don't have a lot of other leaks coming out right now. I mean, nobody has anything. GW is being, I want to say they're being jerks, but they're just doing their job of protecting their releases. It's better for them to be able to go, hey guys, we got this new release coming. This is going to be really awesome. You guys are going to love it. And it's it's just a way for them to maintain, I guess, their maintain the excitement that you guys get all wrapped up in. Because I know I get excited when new stuff drops. So so like this, I got a little bit of information. We saw there was over the weekend, I guess it's still the weekend. Anyways, over the weekend we saw that there was a sneak peek of, not even sneak peek, but a leak of the that new Age of Sigmar army that I cannot pronounce, the OCR Bone Reapers. That their Games Workshop put out I can't even pronounce that, some sort of harvester beast. But what they did, nobody else seems to report on, and I can't pull up the picture here without getting somebody in trouble, but there is a picture of inside the book, and nobody's talking about this, but there is a mounted individual, and it's got like 3 skeletal tails. It's not one of the regular mounts, not one of those the cavalry mounts. It's a brand new one, and the guy looks all decked out. Or if it's not a new mounted model, it is some sort of weird rear articulated legged kind of creature. I don't know. It looks to me like it's a mount, but it could be something else. But there's something big. There's yet another model that we have not seen yet that's coming. So that's really cool. We've seen a couple of pictures of all their different types of monsters, and it looks like, there's no rules. We can't see what the rules are, but it's a Spanish version of the Codex. So that's cool. But like I said, I can't show you the picture because I'm pretty sure I'll get this person in trouble, even though I think it's the same pictures that everybody else has. There are rules kind of leaked out right there. If you guys have a chance, some translations. I don't know what any of this means because I don't play Age of Sigmar. Supposedly there's abilities called the Punishment of Pain. Choose an enemy unit within 18 inches. On a 4+, you subtract 1 to hit rolls until your next hero phase. Punishment of Death, Castigo de Muerta. It's a translation. 1 mortal wound on a 2+ to an enemy unit within 36 inches. Okay. Punishment of Ignorance. Choose an enemy wizard within 36 inches. On a 2+, subtract 1 to rolls for casting, shooting, and unbinding until your next hero phase. Now seems that seems a lot better. And then punishment of lethargy. Let's see here. Choose a unit wholly within 18 inches and fully visible. Roll a dice, and on a 4+, that unit cannot run until your next hero phase. In addition, they may only roll 1d6 to charge instead of 2d6 until your next hero phase. That could be very detrimental to all of you guys that are going to be running Go-Treks out there. So be prepared. All right, so that is really all I have. There's not a lot of other leaks out there, guys and gals. But I just wanted to give you guys a nice roundup of what is going on in the universe here. Now, our weekly show or midweek show on Tuesday, 8 p.m. As of right now, I'll still be doing the shows until, because I think Jonathan is going to be busy for the next, I think like 6 months on a special project. And so you guys will have to deal with me. And we're now at affiliate level. I'm still researching what that means that we can do. And I think that means we can start dual streaming or dual casting, simulcasting, whatever. And I'm also working on setting up an interview with FM Pro guys as the TCC, the Texas Championship Circuit, has ended for the year. And we're now into the final months right before Las Vegas Open, which is the end of the ITC. So I'd like to get an interview with the entire FN Pro team, all 5 guys, or at least most of them, in studio, so we can get an idea of what they're prepping, what they do to prep, what they're expecting, etc., etc. And when we announce that, what would be really good is if you guys could jump on the chat before then, and I'm going to get Twitter set up for the channel. You guys just jump onto one of those and put up your questions, and even join us during the live chat to where we can sit there and ask those questions that you guys are wanting to know from guys that are essentially professional players, guys that travel around, part of a professional team, as far as you can be a professional team with Plastic Toy Soldiers. But, I mean, these guys are really phenomenal players. They've been getting a lot of accolades. We got all the guys are like really high up in that whole ITC and their individual factions. And they did really, really good job in the TCC this year. And next year is going to be even better for them. So, yeah, if you guys have any questions, you guys want to interact with them, get some tips about anything, just sit there and put it in the chat. I'm going to get this loaded up on YouTube, and you can put it in the chat there, and we'll respond. We'll get you all lined up to talk to them. All right? Well, I'm going to sign off here because I've been rambling long enough. It has been 42 minutes, and I wanted to keep this even shorter, and I failed again. All right, guys and gals, I don't have a lot more information for you. I'm hoping that you guys heard enough out of today, and as soon as I have some other information, I'll hit you guys up, and we will continue on. Have a good night.